What is going on, everybody? My name is Nick, and welcome back to another episode of the Good Schmidt podcast. And today I'm going to be talking about a variety of topics relating to the NBA. And I will go through the lineup of topics here, starting with the NBA restart plan, including the conference standings with the teams that will be involved in the NBA restart, and I will mention the teams that will not be involved too. And then I'm going to specifically dive into a recap of the Milwaukee Bucks season. They're my favorite team, and I am interested in doing a recap of their season so far. So I'll be talking about the fact that the Bucks have the best record and had the best record in the league at the All-Star break and at the league stoppage. Going through their team stats, their two All-Stars in Giannis and Chris, their bench mob. I'll be showing players on the league leaderboards on Basketball Reference. I'll be talking about a few quality wins as well as a couple of tough losses the Bucks had, and then some final thoughts on the league restart. So, as I mentioned, the NBA is going to be restarting its season. And this is kind of the timeline here of events as to what's transpired this year. So the league stoppage occurred on March 11th due to the COVID-19 virus, as many of y'all know. And this was because two Utah Jazz players got it. Originally, Rudy Gobert contracted the virus, and then Donovan Mitchell later caught it as well. But initially, Rudy Gobert caught it, and the game the Jazz were playing in got suspended immediately, and Adam Silver suspended league play indefinitely at that point. And now we are at where we're at, and the reason the season is going to resume is because a vote was passed by the NBA Board of Governors as well as the Players Union unanimously. So a little bit about the format here. There's going to be 8 regular season games that will be played before the playoffs. 22 of the 30 NBA teams will be included. I will get into that shortly. There will be a play-in tournament / game only if the 9th seed in either conference finishes within 4 games of the 8th seed. The 9th seed will need to beat the 8th. The 9th seed will need to beat the 8th seed 4 times in order to reach the playoffs. And the format of the actual NBA playoffs is going to be the same as past years. And we do know that the NBA Finals will conclude no later than October 11th. And while the players are in Orlando, the players and coaches are in Orlando. There's going to be testing there every night with lighter nasal swabs as opposed to the more intrusive ones you've seen on TV. And I've heard that the NBA is going to allow families to enter the bubble, families of the players. So that should be interesting to see how that works out. And the other thing I'd like to add here with the restart timeline that I don't have here on the slide is that apparently the league season is the next season is supposed to start December 1st, so it's going to be a really tight turnaround. I don't know how that's going to work. I think they're going to have to push the season back. Probably I would push back till Christmas, like I was hearing rumors of previously. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that with the next season. But anyways, this is a list of teams included. Teams in the East and the West. So you can read them there. And in the West, we also have, besides all the 8 playoff teams, we have the Portland Trailblazers, New Orleans Pelicans, Sacramento Kings, San Antonio Spurs, and Phoenix Suns all included in the regular season game, in the Disney bubble for the 8 regular season games. So 9 through 13 in the West, and the Wizards are also included in the East. As for the 8 teams that are not included, there are 5 in the Eastern Conference, or not 5 in the Eastern Conference, 6 in the Eastern Conference and 2 in the West. In the East, the Hornets, Bulls, and Knicks, Pistons, Hawks, and Cavaliers are not included, as well as the Timberwolves and the Golden State Warriors. So I'm now going to transition to recapping the Milwaukee Bucks season. So let's dive into that right now. Starting with the Bucks' record at the All-Star game, which was a league best and first in the Eastern Conference of 46 wins and 8 losses. The Bucks' home record was 25-3, and their road record was 21-5. At the league stoppage, the Bucks are at the league stoppage, and currently the Bucks are 53-12 with a home record of 28-3 and a road record of 25-9. As for some team stats here, there's quite a few of them that I'm going to go through, and they're all based on the 65 games that the Bucks have gotten through so far this season. So the team has averaged 118.6 points per game, so they've been hovering around 119 points this season. 47.7% field goal shooting as a team. From three, the Bucks are shooting 35.6%. And from the free throw line, they're shooting 72.2%. For rebounds, the Bucks are averaging about 9.5 a game on the offensive boards, and overall, the Bucks as a team are averaging 51.7 rebounds and 25.9 assists per game. They're also averaging 9.4 steals a game, 6 blocks a game, and 14.9 turnovers a game. So some very impressive stats here. Here are some more stats that I'm going to go through. Offensive rating, the Bucks are 7th in the league with an offensive rating of 112.6. They have the top defensive rating in the league at 101.9. The Bucks are 5th in the league in opponent points allowed, with that being 107.4. Opponent field goals per game, they're allowing teams to shoot only 41.3%. From three, they're allowing opponents to shoot 35.6%. Offensive rebounds a game, the Bucks are giving up 9.4, so just a shade under 9.5. And then opposing teams' turnovers at 14.3. As for the Bucks All-Stars, the first All-Star, you all probably know who it is. It's Giannis Antetokounmpo, one of the team captains, along with LeBron James. Giannis was a captain. This season was his 4th All-Star selection. Giannis's numbers here: 29.6 points a game, 13.7 rebounds, and 5.8 assists. Giannis is shooting 54.7% from the field on 20 field goal attempts a night. He's shooting 30.6% from three on just a shade under 5 3-point attempts a night. And from the line, Giannis is shooting 63.3% on 10 free throw attempts a night. Very impressive stuff from the reigning league MVP and probably future MVP of the league. And then the Bucks' second All-Star is Giannis's co-star Chris Middleton. This was his second All-Star selection. Chris averaged 21.1 points a game, 6.2 rebounds, and 4.1 assists on 49.9% field goal shooting, or 49.9% from the field, and he is shooting 43.8% from three and 90.8% from the line on 3.6 free throw attempts a night. Very impressive stuff from Chris. Just barely missing out on 50-40-90 here, which is, that's just insane. That's elite basketball right there from Chris Middleton. Now let's discuss the Bucks bench mob here. It has been very deep this year, with Robin Lopez being added in the mix. Robin is the twin brother of Bucks starting center Brook Lopez. Yeah, he's definitely been a solid addition so far for the Bucks. He's got that nice hook shot. He plays some solid defense as well. Dante DiVincenzo, Pat Connaughton, and George Hill have also been contributors this year. And recently the Bucks have added Marvin Williams to their bench mob as well. So I just would like to talk a little bit about a few of the guys on the Bucks bench, starting with Dante DiVincenzo, who has made a solid impact for the Bucks this season. He's been huge on the boards. This year, averaging 1.6 offensive rebounds a game and about 6 defensive rebounds a game for a total of 7.6 Uh, and Dante being healthy this season definitely has helped the Bucks. He's a smart and gritty player. He does a lot of the little things right that don't show up in the box score. He's been a winning player for the Bucks. He's probably one of my favorite players on the team, if not my favorite. And his DiVincenzo, DiVincenzo's stats here. He is shooting 46.2% from the field on 11.9 field goal attempts a night, 34.4 from three on 5.8 attempts, and he's averaging 14.6 points a game. He's shooting 76.9% from the line on 2.1 attempts a night, and then he is stealing the ball 2.1 times a night. So, yeah, like I mentioned, Dante's been being healthy this year definitely has contributed to the Bucks' success. They did not have him last year, as he had only played 17 games, I believe, and he'd been injured. So it's been nice to see him make an impact. Another guy I want to talk about is George Hill, has led the NBA and in who is leading the NBA in 3-point field goal percentage with a staggering 48% from three. And he's really just been a great all-around shooter, shooting 57.1% from two with an effective field goal percentage of 63.8. That is really solid, as well as 83.1% shooting from the free throw line. And George has really been a nice veteran leader off the bench for the Bucks. And then one more guy I'd like to mention is Pat Connaughton. He's been like I said, he's been a contributor, and he had a nice showing in the dunk contest. That was pretty fun to watch as well. I'd like to discuss the Bucks players on league leaderboards. This list is on Basketball Reference. Check this out. And all qualified players have to be in the top 20. And as y'all can see, Giannis is very high in a lot of these categories. He's first in field goals, 623. He's 10th in field goal attempts with 1,139. He's first in 2-point field goals with 540 because he's at the rim a lot. In 2-point field goal attempts, he's third, 867. Free throws, he's ninth. Free throw attempts, he's second. Defensive rebounds, he's leading the league with 653. Total rebounds, he's fourth. He's also high in turnovers too because he handles the ball a lot. Points, he is fourth with 1,690. Field goal percentage, he is 15th with 54.7. Let's see. And then 2-point field goal percentage, he is 8th. And he's also third in points a game, third in rebounds a game. He's just all over this list. Player efficiency rating is first with a 31.6 rating. Effective field goal percentage, he is in the top 20 there. Second in defensive rebound percentage. Total rebound percentage, he is 6th. Assist percentage, he is 19th. Uses percentage, he is tops in the league, 37.4. He's also tops in defensive rating, 96.3. Offensive win share is 5.6. Defensive win shares, he's first, 4.8. He's also first in win shares per 48 minutes, first in box plus minus. Defensive box plus minus, he is also first as well. So he's all over this list. It's no wonder that he is the league MVP. Now, as far as some other Bucks on this list, you have Brook Lopez, who is second in the league in blocks with 149 blocks. And there's George Hill, first in the league in 3-point field goal percentage, like I mentioned. And then there's also 3 other players in the top 20. Chris Middleton is 10th, free throw percentage, and then Kyle Korver is 12th with a 41.6 3-point field goal percentage. Sorry about that, guys. I accidentally clicked on something. But anyways, back to the list here. We'll go through some more Bucks players on the league leaderboards. Chris Middleton in the league in free throw percentage. Brook is he has an 8 for block percentage. Yeah, that will wrap up that portion. There's also some other players on this list as well. Very interesting list here. Now I'm going to take a look at some quality wins the Bucks have had, starting with their game at the Fiserv Forum against the Los Angeles Lakers on December 19th, in which the Bucks won 117 or 111 to 104. I don't know where I got 117. Giannis had 34 points on 11 for 19 shooting. He had 7 assists, 11 rebounds, 1 block, and 1 steal. Chris Middleton was 5 for 10 from the field, 50% shooting, 15 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists. And George Hill added 21 points off the bench. That was huge for the Bucks there. LeBron's triple-double was not enough in this game. LeBron had 21, 11, and 12. AD had 36 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, a steal, and 3 blocks. And Danny Green also had 21 points. I remember I did watch this game on TV. It was a really fun game to watch. Very nice win for the Bucks. The next quality win is against the other LA team. This time it was on Friday, December 6th. This game was also at Fiserv Forum, and the Bucks absolutely smacked the LA Clippers, 119 to 91. Giannis had 27 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 assists. Middleton had 17 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and a block. Bledsoe had 10 points, 5 assists, and 2 steals. And Pat chipped in 13 points off the bench, including a couple of threes. As far as the Clippers go, Kawhi Leonard had 17 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, and he turned it over 5 times. Paul George had 13 and 7 with a block, and he also turned it over 5 times. And the Bucks held Lou Williams and Montrezl Harrell to only 11 points each off the bench. This win was a very commanding victory for the Bucks. They definitely showed in this game that they're one of the top teams in the league. Then the next quality win was on the road at Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, where the Bucks took down the champs 108 to 97. Middleton was their leading scorer with 28 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists. Giannis had a really nice double-double, 19 points and 19 rebounds, 8 assists, and 8 assists. Bledsoe had 17 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, and a block. And then Brook Lopez added 15 points along with 2 threes. And then for the Raptors, Siakam had 22 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, a block, and 4 turnovers. And Kyle Lowry added 10 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 block, and 4 turnovers. So a really nice road win here for the Bucks. Now I'm going to go through a couple of tough losses the Bucks have had. There haven't been many losses. Count it, just 12. But this is one of the 12 losses. It was a tough one where they lost to the Spurs on Monday, January 6th. They lost 104 to 126. This was their second game in a row against the Spurs. They had played them a couple nights ago in Milwaukee, but this one really was a tough one to swallow against the Spurs after having beaten them the other night before this. So Giannis in this game did have 24 points on 10 for 22 from the field, 12 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals, and a block. Middleton was very inefficient in this game. He only made 5 of his 16 shots from the field for 15 points. Dante had 16 points coming off the bench, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, and a steal. And George Hill added 15 points, shooting 3 for 4 from behind the three-point line. DeMar DeRozan and Patty Mills absolutely torched the Bucks in this game. Patty Mills had 21 points off the bench. He was 6 for 10 from downtown. DeMar DeRozan had 25 points, 3 rebounds, and 7 assists. And he even had a 3. DeRozan is not known for shooting threes. He's known to be a mid-range shooter. LaMarcus Aldridge had 17 points. He had 2 threes, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and a block. Rudy Gay added 17 points, and he as well had 2 threes. And he had 8 rebounds and an assist coming off the bench. So this game proved that if you're going to beat the Bucks, you're going to have to shoot the lights out from behind the three-point arc. That's what Philly did this year in order to beat the Bucks, and what the next team did that I'm going to be talking about in the tough loss that the Bucks had. So yeah, you got to shoot the lights out. Props to the Spurs for doing that in this game. Yeah, and that aforementioned team is the Miami Heat, in which the Bucks played in Miami on Monday, March 2nd. The Heat handled the Bucks 105 to 98. Giannis was only held to 13 points on 6 for 18 shooting. However, he did have 15 rebounds and 3 assists. Middleton had a rough game. He shot 2 for 10 from 3, and he only shot 4 for 6 overall from the field. He had 12 points. Brook Lopez did play well. He was kind of the outlier in this game. He shot 50% from the field. Uh, Overall, he was 8 for 16 overall and 2 for 4 from 3. And Lopez added 6 rebounds and 2 blocks. For the Heat, Jimmy Butler had 18 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, and a steal. Bam Adebayo came up huge. He had 3 blocks in this game, as well as 14 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists, and a steal. Duncan Robinson and Goran Dragic both were 3 for 7 from 3. Kelly Olynyk was perfect from behind the arc. He was 3 for 3 in just 10 minutes. And then Jay Crowder was a problem too in this game. He had 18 points, 5 of those from 3, and he had 4 rebounds and 4 assists as well. A really tough loss here from the Bucks. I believe this was one of only 2 or 3 games. Yeah, it was only a handful of games in which the Bucks were held under 100 points. Really a tall order to do, and it seems that Miami is one of those teams that's able to do that because they have a really strong defense. So overall, my final thoughts on the league restart now. There definitely is a risk to doing it because players and other people in the Orlando community could catch the virus, but the players ultimately really want to play, and I really hope it's worth it. I'm interested in particular to see how the 8th seed shakes out in the West because there is an interesting race out there. And ultimately, I'm excited for there to be live basketball again, actual games to watch. Hopefully it'll be exciting. And that is going to wrap up this episode of the Good Schmidt podcast. I hope you all enjoyed this one. Leave a like if you did. Comment your thoughts below in the comment section. And once again, this has been the Good Schmidt podcast. My name is Nick, and I am signing off.